Hi, everyone. My name is Mary Jo, and I would like to introduce you to the Chardon Connection, your access to channeled information for these times. 2025 appears to be a year of significant change. In times like these, messages and information related to our personal and collective transformation can be really helpful, especially when they're delivered in a way that centers them into our human lived experience. The Chardon Connection is a monthly channeled message or interview on topics that are relevant to the current times. These messages are channeled, or the interviews are of Chardon as channeled by me. And some of our topics in 2024 included the spiritual journey and our human, understanding energy, frequency, and vibration, which was an interview of Chardon, the paradox of love and our journey into heart energy. Talk a little bit about more of that in a minute. And our connection to animals, an interview of Chardon. If you're curious about channeling, but still have questions as to what kind of messages are part of the Chardon connection, I thought it would be really helpful for you to get a chance to just see one of these sessions and for you to get a feel directly for what it looks like. So included here is the replay for the paradox of love and our journey into heart energy. This was a channeled message by Chardon, and the premise of this was that the fifth dimension is often described as a place of unconditional love and light. And yet, somehow in the fifth dimension, we're still in our physical form, perhaps even on this planet. So how does that work? Chardon dropped the phrase, the paradox of love, suggesting that our journey into our heart energy and our spiritual awakening might not be as simple or as linear as sometimes portrayed. So it's my hope that you being able to watch this message on the paradox of love and our journey into heart energy will give you a sense of the Chardon connection. The topic for January 2025 is calibrating to the current energy. You can join the live stream from the comfort of your home, or you could watch the replay at your convenience. So if you're interested in signing up, you can find more information at www.thereikicenter.net. There's two registration options. You can register month to month, or you can register for all of 2025, essentially getting two of the sessions for free. And we'll drop some information and links below the video for you to be able to access directly. The channeled message or the interviews are about 60 to 75 minutes in length. The live streams are all via Zoom, and the materials are housed in a course, which contains the video replay and a downloadable audio recording that you can keep forever. So I hope that you enjoy watching this message on the paradox of love and our journey into heart energy, and hope that you consider looking further into the Chardon connection. Thank you and take care. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here today. It's really an honor and a privilege to get to do this work and to be here with you. I'm going to stop sharing screen. Bring that into full view. So my name's Mary Jo. I think most of you know me. And I am arriving in a bit of a wonky energy. I don't know how it's been for you, but the last couple weeks for me, I just feel like time has been really slippery. The timelines seem to have been moving. It feels like forever since we were last together or last had one of these. And simultaneously, other things in my life that kind of come on a monthly cycle have felt like it has been forever, a very long time between those. And then the energy just has been really weird. Technology for me seems to be one of the trigger points. So of course, it had to play around quite a bit today, but it's not just me that these are happening to. I keep talking to people that are having lots of weirdness in their life, lots of weirdness in their experiences of the day-to-day and what is happening, and that energy and timelines and paths just seem to mm, erratic's probably not quite the right word, but certainly a little bit uh, irregular or out of context. It's sort of hard to anticipate that what's going to happen, even if it's not essentially jarring when it happens. It still seems a bit amorphous, kind of like trying to hold something and it just keeps slipping away. And that feels a lot like what we're encountering right now in the energy. So I hope that you are doing well in all of this, because I think it can be a little disconcerting or discombobulating when all of that happens. Just a few words about me. I am a Reiki master. I do craniosacral therapy. I'm a practitioner of Tai Chi and Qigong, holding space, do all those things. But what I'm here doing today is channeling. And channeling is not something that I went looking for. I didn't go like, I think I'm going to be a channeler. I didn't even really know what channeling was when I got started, except that channeling must be really bad because of a lot of kind of religious background. And one of the goals in creating something like this, the Chardon Connection, is to have a space where people are able to engage with channeling in a way that is accessible and that it helps us bring things out of the amorphous and put them into our day-to-day life, kind of ground and center them into our really lived experience and what's happening for us. I have a real focus or interest in how we go through the transformative process, how we change as individuals, and how we as individuals are here to help change the collective and the community around us and our world around us. And so that's a lot of what this sort of channeling looks at, and what I bring into the world is helping us and myself, because I'm on the same journey, right? I'm on the same journey as we all are, going through the process of becoming and emerging and transforming. So thank you again for being here for this. Today's message is on the paradox of love and our journey into heart energy. And I have to admit that when Chardon dropped that phrase, the paradox of love, that's what our topic was going to be. I was a little bit skeptical, to the point that I asked a number of people, like, would you actually come to something like this called the paradox of love? I mean, I don't even know what it means. I can't even tell you what we're looking at. I kept pushing them, and then they finally gave a little bit more around our journey into heart energy, but still it feels more unknown than most of the ones that I've brought through from them. Sometimes I get some better idea of where we're heading with that. And this one has been a whole lot about, yeah, it'll come sort of when it comes. It does feel like the part of the paradox is around the way we as humans oftentimes think about love, our relationships, our emotions, our feelings, like I'm in love with this person. I have this thing that I love. I love what I'm eating. I love my life or my adventure, or I love my, whether it's somebody personal in your life, like you're a parent or a child or a sibling, right? There's this sort of context of human love and what we mean when we think love in that way. And then there's what we know as the energy of love, love as that, some people call love like the life force that helps to connect everything and hold us together. And so there can be that as well. And that energy of love, and how those of us, particularly that are on this spiritual journey, oftentimes are engaged in exercises or modalities that help us with experiencing the energy of love and helping others experience the energy of love and bringing that through. So I think all of those things are going to be part of this. Um, but I also like that part about heart energy, because heart energy feels different than either of those separately. And I think that's where we're headed. And that's why that second part dropped, about how we use that and move into heart-based energy or love-based heart energy. A few updates for folks on that might be part of the channeling community or might be interested in becoming part of the channeling community. So April 27th, less than a week from now, we have a Channeling 1 course. That's our introductory course. That's about channeling for yourself. It's the connection to higher dimensional wisdom. I truly think that the paradigm for connection and getting messages has changed so much. It used to be that there was the teacher, the guru, the person at the top who would kind of tell you what you were supposed to believe and how you were supposed to hear and listen. And what has been changing and transforming is that we are all able to listen to wisdom ourselves. We're all able to tap into wisdom ourselves, receive messages from our soul, our higher consciousness, our guides, ones that are specific to us and come to us. And so that's really what Channeling One is all about. It's in person here at the Reiki Center. So if you're interested, we'd love to have you join on that. We also have a really strong community of channelers, people who have been through some quite a bit of coursework and exercises and offerings here, and others who have just begun the journey. We have a channeling share on May 3rd that will be from 6 to 8 p.m. and it's got two parts. The first part allows the channelers to ask questions of Chardon. So whatever is coming up in the channeling world or other parts that seem relevant, to ask those questions. And then the second part is to share. And those individuals who desire or willing to offer to provide messages, we just open up spaces and allow that to happen. And anybody who wants to just receive as part of the community is able to just receive and to swap back and forth with messages if they like. So there's no obligation that you have to share, even though it's called a share, you can receive, and that's part of it. And we can do this in person or via Zoom. So if you're not able to make it in person because you live too far away or it just doesn't work with your schedule, feel free to sign up for Zoom and we will make that happen as well. And then finally, our May Chardon Connection is a channeled message and it's entitled The Evolution of Our Intuition. That one I have some more ideas, probably where they're headed with that. But I think that's going to be a pretty interesting dive into what's happening because I don't know about you, but I get a lot of people who are finding out that something is happening in the world. They're like, something weird. I know stuff. I don't know that I used to know stuff. I'm aware of stuff. What is happening? And it's really their intuition coming online. And it's all of our intuition emerging in that way. So I think that is it for me in terms of welcome and update. Just checking my notes to see if I missed anything. Nope. So I am what is called a conscious trance channeler, meaning I am still here, the conscious part. I don't go away. It's kind of like my best description is I let them come on in, I scooch over on the couch, I give them the microphone, and they talk through me. So I'm still here, just sometimes way over on the couch. Sometimes I'm like paying attention to what's going on, and sometimes I'm over here like popping popcorn, right? It's sometimes I will miss big gaps of it, and sometimes I'm watching something come through going, well, that was interesting. So it's really that conscious part of it. But I do go pretty deep to allow them to come through as clean as possible for the message that they want to bring. So that's the trance part. So I keep my eyes closed to minimize any distractions and just help me focus in. You are welcome to get as comfortable as you like. You can sit, you can lay down, you can close your eyes, you can watch me if you like. Don't know that there's a whole lot usually to see because my eyes are closed, but you're welcome to do whatever makes you comfortable. So I'm just going to go ahead and get myself set up. Getting out a channeling crystal. So this is my, it's a green kyanite, and it has been the crystal that sort of showed up as the crystal I use when I'm channeling. So greetings and welcome, and we are Chardon. Love. Love. Such an interesting word and concept of love. And as Mary Jo started with love, the love that you might have for another, the being in love, the love of the heart centra, the place where love feels to emerge for you, this connection, heart connection to others, heart connection to your world, heart connection to you, love. Love, a place of emotions. Some will also say, love is more than emotions. Love is an action word. Can you show your love? Can you become love? Do give love? And love is all of those things. And love is also more. Sometimes you will say that you are offering another love and light. I will send you love and light. I will bring you love and light. We are opening a circle of love and light. And what does that mean for you? Because in those situations, you are not usually offering them that deep personal relationship, that intimate relationship of love. So what is this love and light that you are offering in that space? Light is a little bit easier while still having some complexities. Light is a frequency that contains information. It may be data or downloads or wisdom. It may be activations. But light is something that brings some clarity, some information to a situation. And you can have love and you can have light together, but you can have them separately as well. So you can think of a really dark, dense situation, such as the energy of war, and how love, such deep compassion and love will emerge from people in that, or people observing that. And you can have very intense light without love or compassion. The clarity of a situation, a surgical blade cutting through something, these are very clear, lots of light, but perhaps no need for love in that situation. Love is that emotion, but love is also an energy. And some will talk about the energy of love as 528 hertz, and certainly a very important frequency, a sound frequency, a vibrational frequency, much focused on heart center, much focused on compassion. But then there is a frequency related to harmony and peace at 639. That is also love. And there are other higher frequencies associated with unity, oneness, creation, spiritual growth, enlightenment, if you will. So love is not one thing. Love and light are both divine forces, but they are very different channels of that. Love can be with that emotion in your heart, but it does not have to be. But when the love frequencies, love as energy, connects to your heart, those emotions, you begin to develop heart energy, love-based heart energy. And love is always with you. Love is in you. You do not need to go seek it. You do not need for someone to give it to you. You have it. It is in you all of the time. And it is something that you are able to tap into and bring yourself. And many will look for heart energy, for love outside of themselves, asking to be filled up or needing to be filled up because there are huge gaps in the heart. Childhood trauma, PTSD, losses, grief, all of these things can create holes in the heart and holes in your ability or capacity to feel your own love. But love works best not when it is simply poured into one, but with whatever love you are able to bring or generate, you're able to open and begin to reach out with that love, allowing yourself to meet the love from another. And this synergy, this connection, is part of what we would call the human grid. And the human grid is, yes, based in consciousness. And that is part of your connection to all of the consciousness grids in the universe, the consciousness grids in your planet. But uniquely is this heart-based heart energy. Love that comes through the heart and emanates as this heart energy, which you are able to put and share into the grid, into the connection of all humans, and into the larger world. You might think of this love-based heart energy, this heart energy, as being something that is produced by certain beings in your world, certain beings in the universe. It is like trees that make oxygen. Oxygen is needed by many life forms on your world, but only some make it. So it is with this heart energy. There are others who need it, others who desire it, but only some that make it. And heart energy is something that can be used as a medium of exchange. It is a resource. If it were in a marketplace, you could buy and sell it. And some of you just thought, who wants to commodify love? Who wants to commodify heart energy? And yet many of you, on meeting someone who has a special kind of joy and energy in their heart, that you are able to feel will say things like, they just light up the room. I wish we could bottle that energy. Everybody would want it. We could sell it, but it would change the world if you could just have it accessible. So we encourage you to step away from the capitalism model of heart energy as a resource or a medium of exchange, and begin to think of heart energy and how it can help be used to shape and change not only you, not only your world, but beyond your world. Part of the journey for you, part of the paradox of heart energy will be that as you open more and more to heart energy, all of those things that are stored in your body that are not heart energy, that are not love-based, will come bubbling up. And because love is not one thing, there's no one opposite of love. Some of the opposites will certainly include fear and hate, war, apathy. But there is no one thing, and it may show up different for each person. But what you have in your current lived life, your other lives, and your genetic heritage, all will contain all of those. We invite you to breathe. Because they would not come up for you now if you were not ready to be able to address them, to release them. You do not need to relive everything, to let them go, to let it out, to close it out of your systems, to close it out of your spirit and your own energy. War energy has been in your world for a very, very long time. You go back through the stories of your history, and they are all based on war. Us, them, taking from, losing, winning. War energy did not originate with humans, and you do not need to keep it. But to release it from your world, you will have to stop feeding it. You will have to let it be collapsed and pushed down. You have to allow yourself to be open to other ways of being. And many in your world are done with war. They have seen the damage, the ramifications, the impact, the losses. But what you do not yet see is, what can we do about it? How do we go around it? What can we do differently? And those are the parts for you, for your world, that are beginning to emerge. The more heart energy and more heart connection that is here, the more your grid lights up. And the more your grid lights up, the more it connects to consciousness in ways, the more innovation and new ways of being flow through. It is a forward feed cycle. Part of the reason that war energy right now seems to be at an all-time high, and there have been seasons in your world where it has been just as high, if not higher. But it feels such a stark contrast because there are more of you who are wishing and desiring to see something different. You're not playing out the same paths, the same paradigms. Part of the reason that war energy is heightened right now is very much due to the apathy that is here, the numbness. And it has come about for real reasons. The consistent overwhelm, flooding of images and materials, and far too much information that you can absorb. And it has all been focused on the negative. It has really tried to drive that for you. So the more that you are able to extract and focus on, who can you help? What can you create? What can you do differently? Even if it is for yourself to begin with. The more of that happens, you stop feeding one side and you start feeding another new direction. The war energy is breaking through for some who have numbness or apathy. It may cause some dark nights of the soul, existential crises, as those individuals wake up through an awareness or realization of war. But they need to wake up. They desire to wake up. So when you meet them and you see them, helping them turn their own direction to even the smallest things that they can do to help themselves or others, will shift the direction, their trajectory. And if you are one who says, I am already awake and am overloaded by what is happening, we understand that. And we invite you to do the same. Allow yourself to disconnect from putting your energy into this. The more that you keep up to date with it, that you engage in the drama, that you wish more information instead of what is it that we can create differently. Stop feeding the war energy, the war feed, and start feeding the heart energy, the heart connection, the heart love. It does not mean if you see someone in need that you walk by them and just say, I'm over here creating heart energy, I can't help you. That is not what we are saying. But in most situations, there is nothing you can do from your part of the world over to someone else besides work through the channels and structures that you have. So do that, and then build something, create something, bring your heart into something. For the next thing that will happen with this opening of heart energy is individually and collectively, you will begin to experience love in newer and deeper ways. And love will change you. Love will change you. Love will invite you to see yourself. Love will invite your collective to see itself. And there can be something almost excruciatingly painful when you begin to see yourself. Because if you have looked at the outer layers, you have looked at the facades, you have looked at the cloaks that are on you, you do not recognize yourself. And because of the traumas and challenges that you have had, you oftentimes will begin to look at yourself through broken glasses. And you see what you see as broken. Being seen is like taking off all of the outer layers that you have been wearing to protect yourself from the wind and the storm and the sun. And you feel the wind on your skin or the rain on your skin, the snow on your skin, the sun on your skin for the first time, and it can be painful, excruciatingly painful at times to be seen for who you are. Because what if people don't like you? What if people don't accept you? But love calls you to allow yourself to love yourself. Love invites you to love yourself. Love invites you to be gentle with yourself and to be gentle with others. We'll go back a minute to that love and light that sometimes people send, sometimes without invitation. Sometimes it is I'm not sure I like the direction they are heading in, so I will send them a lot of love and light. Or love bombing. I will bomb them with love. We invite you to close your eyes for a minute if you have your eyes open. And imagine that you are in a very dark cave. And you have been in this very dark cave for a while. And your eyes can only see the darkness. And now imagine that someone comes and shines a very bright light into your eyes. Your eyes would flinch, they would clamp closed, they would try to protect your retinas from the light, because that much light without having time to acclimate, to calibrate, can be damaging. You might turn away. The same can be true when you turn the intensity of light and love onto another through love bombing or intense love sending. Again, often without invitation. For those that invite it, send it all. But for those who are in what you might consider to be areas of denseness or darkness, that can be overwhelming. It can be painful. You may not get the response that you thought. They may turn away from you. They may push away from you. They may disconnect. They may explode in anger. They may be hurt. It may cause them to shrink even further down, the opposite of what you are trying to do. And the same goes for yourself. If you try to jump in wide into ice cold water, and that is not your choice to jump into a polar freeze, you will find it very painful. And it may cause you to do very much the same. So being gentle with yourself, we will call this calibrating. Calibrating your heart energy and your love to the situation. It does not have to be on or off. There is a rheostat and you can turn it up or down to match the situation. And I know you are perhaps thinking, I do not wish to dumb down my energy. I do not wish to hide my light under a barrel. We understand that. We're not asking you to do that. We're asking you to help create connection. And when you plug two electrical things together, they must be able to handle the same frequency. It is the same as this connection between us and Mary Jo. We ask her to bring her vibration up, to be able to connect, and we calibrate ours to meet her. She cannot come all the way up to where we are. We need to meet to create this connection. And you would not be listening to this if you did not feel that this sort of connection was valuable. This is the same sort of connection that you can do with your heart energy to others, to your world, and to yourself. Calibrate to what you need. We would like to invite you to another exercise right now. As you think about heart energy lighting up areas in you around fear or hate or war or apathy, what is the first thing that comes to mind that you may need or desire to change for yourself? It may be very specific. Maybe I need to stop talking to this person about this subject because it never goes well. I need to stop listening to that news source. I need to stop watching that on social media. I need to what? What needs to stop for you? What do you wish to release? If you have a pen or paper or some other device, jot that down. Now we invite you to consider less specifically. Do not limit the options here, but to think, to feel, what is it that your heart energy is calling you to? What is it that you need or want more of or seeking in your life? It may be peace, joy, or expansion of time. We invite you to not say, I need a new partner. I need a new job. But to open that further up to what is behind that. I need to be seen. I need to belong. I desire to work in a place where my voice is valued. And let the energy of the universe help to solve that for you, with you, and through you. So what is it about heart energy that makes it so unique, that makes it so valuable? Heart energy is truly part of the great Earth experiment. Beings that have the emotions that are connected to the heart and grow to a stage of understanding love as an energy are able to be like those trees, to help to create love-based heart energy. That is what you are doing. And it is a very simple process once the parts of you come to the right stages of spiritual and physical evolution and growth. But you know, looking on your own life, there has been nothing easy about getting to this stage. When you consider your other lives, there has been nothing easy about the iterations of work, retilling the soil to nurture these plants and allow them to grow. That is what this season of transformation in your world is about. It is about moving into what you sometimes call the fifth dimension. But for you, in this world, the fifth dimension is very specifically related to heart-based energy, not simply consciousness. You can find fifth dimensional consciousness in many parts of this cosmos. Less common, far less common, is to find heart-based energy with fifth dimensional consciousness, because these are most always physically incarnate beings. And your world in particular has chosen to almost push things through a very tight funnel space. The pressures, the constraints, the separation that you sense or feel from source, even though it is not real, that is part of that pressure cooker that is pushing you through. Linear time. A short life cycle. A planet that is also going through change at the same time. All of these are added constraints that push and compress. And when you put something under pressure, it eventually shoots through. And that is where you are. You're in this pressure beginning that things are pushing through. And as we have said, the end of this century will look quite different than the beginning of this century. And the turning point really moves quite a bit to the midpoint of this century. And yet you are already in the starting point right now. This decade is essentially moving through part of the threshold, stepping into something new. And the part that you do not like, understandably, is that to get there, you have to go through all of the things that you are carrying. You have to let them go. They have to come up. The hate, the fear, the war, the apathy. For joy to flow, those have to be taken down. They have to be dampened down. Paradox of love is that when love comes to you, it asks you to change. Love changes you, but it asks you to change. And you can choose to say no. And some are like those people in the cave and they say, no, take it away. It's too much. Others turn their lights on full blast, but they keep their love quite small. To protect their love, to protect themselves. But you will not be able to open your heart to love without being vulnerable in your heart, without truly opening to being seen, to being loved. To letting love in. And oh, so most importantly, letting yourself love yourself. And we say these often because they are so important. Imagine that you were one of those trees growing. Would you say to the rain, I don't need any rain. I will just make rain myself. I will do it all myself without any rain. That would not work out so well. Would you say to the sun, I will just burn myself up to make sun and warmth and heat. I can't take that. I can't accept what you are offering. You see the ridiculousness of it. But that is what it is like when you are trying to do it all yourself. When you are trying to help others, serve others without loving yourself, when you are unwilling to let love in, when you do not have a space where you take care of your own heart, your own channel, your own connections with others around you. Some of your hearts just went. Allow yourself to breathe in and out. If need be, putting your hands on your heart and letting the love that is in your own hands come into your own heart. Feeling that love that you have, the compassion that you give others. Can you give it to yourself? Can you accept it from yourself? Love is inviting you to change, and it is inviting you forward. And you have already picked that up and are moving forward with it, or you would not be listening to things such as this. You would have no interest if you were not already opening your heart. But as you go forward in these next couple of years with the tumult around you, there will be tumult, the chaos, the more openings. As we talk about intuition coming online next time, those individuals are also beginning to open their hearts. So all of these people will be reaching out to you saying, feed me, I need. And how do you help to set what it is that you are able to offer and to give? What is it that you will need to help yourself with? And how do you help others not be needs, but learn how to be givers and caregivers of their own energy as well. As we said early on, love and hearts do best when heart love energy from one reaches out and meets heart energy love from another. If one side is always pouring or always receiving, it is not only not helpful, it does set up that karmic cycle of giving and receiving that we spoke of at one time. Balance and flow, that is where the joy is. Balance and flow is where the peace is. And balance and flow is where the love is. You are loved. Not just loved in a way of, oh, we are loved, but we've got a lot of flaws and they just put up with us and you're loved. You're lovable. You're likable. You're loved. And while the universe can sometimes feel quite impersonal, quite distant, there's an intimacy in universal love that comes right into your heart. Source knows you because you are of Source. And you are Source. So you are loved in the deepest sense of that world, the most encompassing sense of that word. Let yourself be loved. Be like the trees. Let the rain in, let the sun in. Put your roots down deep and open your branches wide to receive. We wish you peace and joy on this journey. Okay. That's a lot to think about. I would invite us right now to put your hands on your heart. Cut mine off to the side because of the microphone, but put your hands on your heart. Feel your heart beating. As long as that heart is beating, there is love running through you. As long as that heart is beating, you are lovable. As long as that heart is beating, you have love that emanates from you. Because you are love. It is part of your energy field. It's part of all of our energy fields. It's part of the grid. We're all part of this network, this mesh of love. And we are love. So let yourself really embrace that love. One of the things that I learned is sometimes just put my hands on my heart and just say, hey, honey, what do we need? Hey, heart, what do we need? Right? Just like I would talk to one of my cats. Maybe you've got a little kid child, a niece, a nephew, a neighbor, a dog, somebody else, right? Whomever you talk to in that sort of really affectionate terms. Hey, honey, what do you need? That's how we ought to talk to our heart. Hey, honey, what do you need? And listen to what our heart needs because our heart is what is carrying us forward in this time. It's not our minds. It's really not all the consciousness either that we're receiving. It's going to be our hearts that are going to take us through this journey. Hmm. So with that, I wish you great rest of day. I hope the energy for everybody is less wonky. And remember, you are loved. Take care of yourself and be gentle with yourself.